Today we're going to be talking about the Champions League, my predictions for the second leg of the quarterfinals to see who's going to make the semifinals. It is a lot to talk about, a ton to talk about. And I want to start off by talking about PSG because the PSG Aston Villa game, first of all, was a really fun watch. I went back and I watched it on repeat because the game I was watching was they played the Real Madrid day, right? PSG played the Real Madrid, but I'm pretty sure PSG played. No. PSG played the Barca day, and Real Madrid and Bayern played the Madrid day. Yeah. So I was watching the Barca game. So I went back and I rewatched PSG, and the reason I rewatched PSG is because I think that's the team I'm the most impressed with this year. Outside of Barcelona, I'm impressed with Barcelona because the financial issues they're under and the turnaround that their manager is able to give this team, and obviously they have this young kid who's playing like he's the best player in the world right now. We'll talk about that in just a minute. By the way, when I'm making this video, Barcelona starts in about 30 minutes when I'm making this video, so I'm making on Saturday, right? So y'all probably won't see it for a few days, but I'm making it before Barcelona plays. With that being said, let's keep track on PSG. PSG bringing Luis Enrique, which I thought was one of the best hirings that we've seen in a long time. I think Luis Enrique and the Spanish managers right now really have football on lock. If you look around the world, a lot of the best managers are Spanish. So Xabi Alonso, what he did with Bayer Leverkusen, Luis Enrique, what he did with Barca in the past, and now what he's doing with PSG. Guardiola, we know what he did with City and what he's done in the history of him. I believe the manager that won the Euro was Spanish as well, right? Obviously. So, not obviously, but I'm pretty sure he's Spanish. So, yeah, man, the Spanish managers are really cooking. And what he's done with this PSG is amazing because what happened with PSG was they had superstars, Neymar, Mbappe, Messi. They're all gone. And they create a team that pushes each other forward. They're getting the best out of Dembele. They're keeping Dembele healthy. They're getting, João Neves and Vitinha are playing at a very high level, these young Portuguese kids. They have a young, everyone's talking about Lamine Yamal, but they also have a young star at PSG. So it's this team that's just a well-oiled machine that when I look at what's happening at PSG, I don't see many teams in Europe that can knock this team out. And a lot of people might be like, Skills, that's an overreaction to them. But it's really not. It's really not an overreaction. When I made my original prediction video for this round, I said that PSG was the most scary team, one of the most scary teams, and potentially the scariest team, for the simple fact that they can rest their players because Liga is over. They've won Liga last weekend. So now it's about resting. They can rest players for Liga. So you can make sure players don't get injured. You can make sure players are fit and ready for the Champions League games. That is scary. Barca can't rest players. Bayern can't really rest players. Inter can't rest players. I believe PSG is going to knock out Aston Villa. And I believe in the next round, PSG is going to be very hard to knock out. It's what I see. It's what I believe. I believe if there's any year that PSG can make a final, it's this year. And I believe if there's any year that PSG can win the Champions League, it's this year. I truly believe that from the bottom of my heart. I believe they have a great manager, a great team, great goalie, playing well this year. I always give Donnarumma a lot of stick, but there's no need to give him stick because he's him this year. He's playing very well. They have Vitinha playing at a high level, Dembele playing at a high level. This team is scary. To move on real quick, we'll move on to the Barcelona game where this isn't really a game. This is over. 4-0, I think Barcelona can rest players. I know Dortmund is a fantastic team, and their stadium is one of the most electrifying audiences and atmospheres in all of Europe when it comes to European nights, or when it just comes to football. But the truth is, even with the yellow wall behind them, 4-0 to this Barcelona team is like 10-0. It's just tough because now you have to open up even more. You have to go on the attack. And on the counter is Lamine Yamal and Rafinha. And Rafinha is going for this Champions League record. You know he wants it. You know he needs more goals, so he's going to go for that. So at the end of the day, I think this game can end up ending really bad for Dortmund. I think I could see another 4-0, 3-0, 4-0, because Dortmund has to open up and Barca could just counter. And when you let Barcelona counter, it's a scary day. It's a scary, scary day. So I think this game, honestly, if I'm being real with you, I think this game's going to end somewhere around 7-2 on aggregate or 8-2, something like that. I could see this game ending like 4-2 or something. in the second leg, and then aggregate being like 8-2. So I think this one might be over. For me, Barcelona still one of the heavy favorites to win the Champions League. I truly, in the bottom of my heart, I say this, and a lot of people are going to give me stick for this, and it is what it is. But I truly believe that Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world right now. And it's so stupid for me to say that because he's like freaking 17 or 18 years old or whatever he is, bro. And a lot of people are like, that's the dumbest thing. Look, man, when I look at players that are impacting a team the most, for me, it's Lamine Yamal. Unless you jump to like a Dembele or something like that. When you look at Mo Salah, yeah, amazing. But realistically, they're going to win the Premier League, the Champions League they're out of. And when you look at what Lamine Yamal is doing, he won the Euro, potentially going to win La Liga, potentially can win the Champions League, still in the Copa del Rey. Lads, when I look at this and I see what players are doing for a team, how they're impacting a team, you're in every major competition. You can make the finals in every major competition. You've been impactful in every major game for your team. I don't know what else you call a best player in the world. I don't know. Like, you're impacting every single game. You're impacting every single game. So in my opinion, I don't know. He scored, correct? No, he didn't score in the final of the Euro, but he scored in the semifinals, right? That's when he scored that banger to knock out France, who everyone had as France as the best team in the world. For me, lads, it's just he's so impactful. Do I think he's better than Mbappe? No, I don't. But I think right now he's having a better season, and I think he might be the most impactful player in the world right now. That's truly how I feel about Lamine Yamal, bro. It's scary. It's crazy to say it, but it's truly how I feel. Anyways, Arsenal, Real Madrid. Arsenal won 3-0. No Camavinga because of a red card. Either way, he wasn't going to play. He had a second yellow or another yellow, so he was going to sit out no matter what. Can Real Madrid come back? If there's any team in world football that can come back, it's Real Madrid. Arsenal just had a bad performance against Brentford and tied 1-1. So that's kind of a little bit of speed bump in the road, but I don't think it's a big deal. Do I think that Real Madrid can turn this around? We've seen Real Madrid turn around scary results. So for me to sit here and tell you that they're not going to turn it around or me sit here and tell you that they are going to turn it around wouldn't make me a crazy person, because it's possible. But here's the deal. I do think Real Madrid is going to put in work. And I do think Real Madrid is going to make this very close. And I think Arsenal is going to pull away with this by like a 1-goal score. Does that make sense on aggregate? I don't know how it's going to play out, but I think Real Madrid is going to put up 3 goals. I do think so. I think Madrid's going to put up 3 goals, but I think the game is going to end like 3-1. This is what I believe. I might be crazy, but I think Madrid is going to have those Madrid-type nights. The problem is those Madrid-type nights in the Champions League eventually have to come to an end, right? And I just don't think that defense that we've been watching can keep a clean sheet. I don't think so. So I think Madrid might put up 3, but if they put up 3, it's Arsenal will score 1. If they put up 4, Arsenal will score 2. You get what I'm saying? I just don't see a clean sheet. So I think Madrid is going to get knocked out. Hope I'm wrong. I would love to see Madrid versus Barcelona in the Champions League final. That would be fire. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Arsenal are going to advance. I'm not going to say that Arsenal are the way better team than Real Madrid, but I am going to say that Arsenal had a way better night than Madrid, a way better day than Madrid, and this is going to be very hard to knock out because this Arsenal team knows how to defend. You know, when Real Madrid turned it around against City, I felt like City didn't really know how to hold on to results or defend because they're such an offensive team. This Arsenal knows how to defend. So I think that Madrid will find goals, but I think off the counter, Arsenal will score. And I think Madrid might drop out. I don't know. Just my thoughts. Bayern Inter. This is a crazy game. I think the second leg is going to end 1-1 and Inter's going to advance. I just don't see Bayern going over to they go to Italy now, right? I just don't see, in my opinion, I don't see Bayern going to Italy and smashing these Italian stallions, bro. I don't see it. This defense is good. They're great off the counter. Bayern's going to have to open up a little bit. Inter can counter them. I think Bayern hits first. Inter hits again. Game ends 1-1. And Inter moves on to the Champions League semifinals. Those are my predictions. Let me know how you guys think I did in the comments down below. I love you guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.